Hey, how's everybody doing today? So, I'm sure a lot of people have been hearing about our homegirl right here, Lil Tay. Let's take a little minute here. Let me tell you guys about it.
Tay is flexing a new achievement. Days after the rapper turned 18 years old, she says she has amassed over $1 million on Onlyfans within 3 hours of creating her account. Tay shared a photo of her alleged earnings on Instagram August 3rd, in which she earned just over $1 million. She went on to chide her critics in another video, telling viewers,
"You hate on me all you want, you can't say Lil Tay ain't winning. So for everybody out there, do whatever the hell you want with your life. Who gives a f people have to say? And remember this, Lil Tay rich and finna get richer."
Tay, who turned 18 on July 29th, teased the idea of joining the adult content website a week before her birthday. She said in a July 22nd Instagram video,
"Every mail has been counting down to it and literally telling me to drop the link the second I turn 18. Girlies, what do you think? Should I do it?"
The content creator, who went viral in 2018 for her profanity-filled raps about her lavish lifestyle, went on to make 10 more videos asking whether she should join OnlyFans before sharing the link to her account. Tay claimed,
You know what I'm curious about? I'm curious about the average age of the guy that paid money for her OnlyFans. I would love to see the average age of the guy that was telling her to post as soon as she turned 18. Hey, you know what? There's been a terrible problem in society. It's become the pornification of society, okay? Women know they can make a bunch of money. And this isn't their fault. There's a market for it. The guys are paying for it. The guys want to turn around and go, "Oh my God, I can't believe, it's her fault that she did this." Yo, why don't you go talk to your homeboy about paying for it? Why don't you go find the guys that are commenting, "Hey, when you turn 18, you should make an OnlyFans." Why don't you go talk to them, okay? But here's an interesting little side topic. I don't know if you guys knew this. As much as this is an interesting topic, did you know that when you are watching porn on OnlyFans, you're contributing to genocide and to the Americans' bent knee to Israel? Well, here we go. OnlyFans owner, this is from the Rolling Stone, pledged $11 million to the Israel lobby. You guys could look this up. I read another article and I got another video for you guys on that one. So anyways, yeah, basically he denied it and said that it wasn't him, but it was his foundation. Okay, wow, big difference, buddy, big difference. So they pledged $11 million, making them the second highest contributor to all of Aipac. That's a lot of money. That actually could sway quite a bit of different seats in Congress right there. So when you're sitting there and you are watching OnlyFans, telling these girls when they turn 18 they need to be showing you a little something, something, you are contributing to literal genocide and the subversion of American democracy. That just makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. Are you happy about it? It's good times, huh? Isn't it wonderful? Okay, here's a little That's not the best stop. I did her a little dirty, right? Candace, I'm sorry I did you dirty right here, girl. But we're gonna let the screen move so you don't look so bad.
Obviously, recognizing that right now, pornography is actually everywhere, even where you don't even recognize. You go onto Instagram and suddenly there's softcore pornography. You look up at an advertisement and a woman is selling a bag, but for whatever reason, she needs to be half naked or totally naked with the bag in order for you to want to buy it.
Duh.
It's really interesting. And I've arrived at the conclusion that pornography is a spiritual weapon. I am holding in my hand a book by E. Michael Jones. It's entitled Libido Dominandi, and I have to tell you something about E. Michael Jones. According to the ADL, you should not listen to him. He is a hate monger, a very hateful person. He's an anti-Semite. He's a racist. He's all the things. And probably worst of all, he's a Catholic.
Ooh.
So,
Ouch.
well, I was interested anyways because the ADL also has me on their list, and so I'm quite fascinated by people who earn their ire.
I can't wait to get on that list.
Made me realize why that
It's one of my
might have
dreams.
been. I'm just going to read you a little bit here that I have highlighted that I find to be fascinating. Unlike Aristotle, who argued that men were slaves, which is to say by nature, Augustine took a radically moral view of the issue. Man was free as long as he was moral, which is to say acting according to the dictates of practical reason. It is clear, he wrote in City of God, that sin is the primary cause of servitude. That means a good man, though a slave, is free, but a wicked man, though a king, is a slave, for he serves as many masters as he has vices. Another quotation here, it says, absolute freedom is actually a form of bondage. A man can become enslaved to his desires. Such a person has indentured and enslaved his soul and spirit to his lusts and tempers. And this part I think I loved the most. It says here that according to Augustine, which is something that he proposed in his book, The City of God, all of history could be reduced to two options, symbolized by two cities. The city of God is based on love of God to the extinction of self, and the city of man is based on love of self to the extinction of God. And then E. Michael Jones writes, the distinction I'm trying to make here is like the difference between Jesus Christ and Dracula. Christ shed his blood so that we might have eternal life. Dracula sheds your blood so that he can have eternal life.
All right. Real quick. Vices, addictions. This is coming from somebody that I'm no saint, okay? I've had plenty of problems. This is not coming from a place of, don't worry, I'm not going to become your next TradCon dude, all right? I'm not going to Charlie Kirk you guys. I'm not going to be another Ben Shapiro or even a Tucker Carlson, even though I agree with Tucker and a lot of stuff. I'm going to be Tom Goyen. Tom Goyen's going to be keeping it real with y'all. I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here for you to agree with me. I'm going to give you my opinions. I'm going to show you a little bit of information. But here's the thing. I'm actually totally open to having conversations. And I'm willing, more than willing, actually would be happy to retract any of my opinions at any moment, provided valid evidence that contradicts any of my opinions. So, on that note, anyways, I have plenty of addictions. I've struggled with the addiction to substances. I'm in recovery right now. I even had a slip a few months ago. Okay? And I could tell you that when you're addicted to things, you do not have freedom. Your freedom is contingent. When you're addicted to opiate, you have to have that opiate. If you don't have that opiate in your system, if you don't have that, then you're not going to be doing very well. You got to have it. So lust is another addiction. Anybody that understands how these honeypot operations work, Jeffrey Epstein, for example, which everybody's been talking about. Sex could be used as a very powerful weapon. And now we live in a society with the pornification of society where it's so easy now that we've all been corrupted so much that if the right opportunity comes up, it'd be very easy to blackmail so many people. Get them drunk, provide them with a girl. As you could see, a lot of people like young women. Look at Lil Tay. She waited until she turned 18 and boom, she made all that money. Only for the owner to give a part of it to Aipac. It's just kind of funny. Anyways, let's continue on here a little bit.
Fascinating. E. Michael Jones, welcome to the Candace Show.
Thank you, Candace. Great to be here.
I am so pleased to have you on here to speak about pornography and this book, and this is, by the way, the second edition of this book. You had written this book and had theorized a lot about pornography as a spiritual weapon. I wouldn't even say it's a theory, it's just a fact. And then thereafter, this event happened in 2002, which made you recognize how correct you were. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so the first edition came out 25 years ago and was greeted with skepticism. And then I was saying it's a form of control, and no, it's freedom. And then I was talking about pornography in this regard. And then after the book came out, the Israelis invaded Ramallah. And one of the first things they did was take over the TV stations, and they started broadcasting pornography from the TV stations. Now, how does this fit with the American understanding of pornography?
Did you hear that? Should I rewind it for the people in the back? I'm just going to say it again. In 2002, IDF invaded Ramallah in Gaza. And what did they do? They seized the television stations and they broadcasted pornography. Okay? Do you guys see a theme here? Do you see a theme of who's been doing this? You see a theme? Wait, I'll spell it out for you. Aipac money going to Onlyfans. I just read another article on another episode where they talked about there was a 4-hour pornography film made in 2002 by Vivid Entertainment called The Gaza Strip. A 4-hour pornography made by Vivid called The Gaza Strip. Okay? Same time period that they were invading and taking over the television stations. Anyways, let's go back to this.
I mean, Larry Flint, they did a movie about him, and he said, no one's free unless I can produce pornography. So pornography means freedom? So you mean the Palestinians or the Israelis are bringing freedom to the Palestinians by doing this? No, it's the exact opposite. It was an admission after the fact. 3 years after the book comes out, then they finally have the incident that proves what I'm saying is accurate. It's a form of control. They wanted to derange the Palestinian youth by having them look at pornography so that they couldn't organize and fight this Israeli oppression. So I gave this speech after the first edition. I gave it in Switzerland, and there were Palestinians in the audience, and they came up to me and said, it was much worse than what you said. There were snipers on the roof. If you came out, they would shoot you. We know now that they do this kind of stuff because it's in the news every day now. But this was news then. So they were forced to watch pornography. Why did they want to do that? Because they knew exactly what St. Augustine said. They wanted to get them to get addicted to pornography so they could control them. It's that simple.
So what is the meaning of libido dominandi, just to reduce this to its Latin understanding?
It's the dominating lust, or it's the lust to dominate. And so, as I said, there are two options, the city of God and the city of man. The city of God is based on love and service. Love of your fellow man and service to your fellow man. Well, the city...
Oh, you dirty commercial. Damn it, commercial. Wait. Where's my cursor? Okay, here we go.
The city of man has to be the opposite.
Sorry.
Well, what's that? The opposite is domination. You're here to dominate other people for your good. That's the demonic alternative to the city of God.
And you start speaking about really how this merged with psychology, but I want to start with France, where it seems like every bad idea and every sexual bad idea kind of arrived out of France into America. But it's interesting to learn how many of...
Okay, I'm not going to crack this whole egg for you guys right now, but I am going to give you guys a little rant, a little Tom rant, okay? So we got all these different mergers of different ideologies that have evolved because of modern society and the way that modern society is. You got feminism, and all men are trash. You got the red pill community. All women are not to be trustworthy. And at the core of all of this is the sexual revolution. We're being sold. Young women are being sold that if they want to make money and they want to get ahead, they should sexualize themselves. Just like Lil Tay, okay? And men, we're prisoners to our lust. And now that there's become the mainstream pornification of society, we also know that any girl we're talking to, if they're sexually attractive, they have all kinds of other options. And they're sitting there, they're like a fish in the freaking water full of piranhas. And you might have temporarily pulled them in that net, but if you start to let her hop out of that net, she's gonna land right back in the water and get chomped up by other piranhas. We've learned to not trust each other. We don't trust each other anymore. There's no more trust. There's children being made out of wedlock, a family court system that is super messed up. And what's happening? What is happening now is a degradation of the family unit. Something that, if you want to take some time and study, is a core component of communism, which is also anti-religious. You must degrade the family unit. If you can degrade the family unit, then you'll have the continuation of trauma, and that same trauma makes you much easier to control. Your lust, your desperation for money because you don't have a family that's going to help guide you in the right direction. So you're by yourself, you're vulnerable. You know, women more likely to get into pornography. Men addicted to drugs and lonely. No guidance, no stability. Dumbing down of society in which they use our addictions and our proclivities to sin as a tool for control. So I want you to think about that today. I'm not asking you not to consume adult content because it's a difficult battle, but maybe you should consider the repercussions of what the reverberations of that are on society at large. And that's it for me right now. And yeah, like I said, you could look up. Vivid Entertainment made a 4-hour porn called The Gaza Strip. At the same time, they took over Ramallah and captured all of their TV channels and broadcasted porn with snipers on top of buildings. Sounds nice, huh?